What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about SoundHound. So today it is up 3.82%, showing a lot of good strength. So I want to go over some of the current data points, what's been coming out associated to the company, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So like I said, up 3.82%, a lot of volume for a Friday. So 72.5 million shares have been traded, 92.1 is the average. These are some of the transactions I've occurred on the secondary market, so a little bit lower in comparison to the last several days, but nonetheless you still see a lot of good buying that has been happening. These are some of the transactions that have occurred on the dark pool, so very popular as usual. So you can kind of see over the last 250 transactions, this exchange is crazy, and so no doubtably this is actually where shorts probably covered a lot of their shares, so that is why it is no longer on the threshold list. So something to kind of just keep in mind. And this stock has been very interesting. Like I said, there's a lot of different aspects to it, the AI component, as well as it being a potential short squeeze play, but at the same time, there has been absolutely nothing coming out from the company itself. So the last actual news associated to this company was on March the 1st. Aside from that, it has been all very much speculation. So this is why there's a lot of people very hesitant about SoundHound. Of course, a lot of people are kind of worried about their upcoming earnings, which right now is estimated to come out on May the 10th. Of course, just estimated, like I said. Oddly and surprisingly enough, though, there was an analyst that did give a rating. So Gil, who is from D.A. Davidson, who has a 65% success rating, gave a $9.50 price target. So that's kind of a very bold scenario. Prior to that, you had Wedbush, Cantor Fitzgerald, a lot of kind of no-name ones, but D.A. Davidson, somewhat recognized, and plus 65% as a success rating is relatively good. So 82 of the 127 So 82 out of the 127 recommendations. So this analyst isn't just some Joe Smuck or whatever. It's, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. So despite the lack of news and everything, clearly is getting the attention from analysts. I don't know, again, if it's just hyping or kind of piggybacking off the AI hype or something else. But one thing that has really bothered me, and I've brought up almost every single video, some people obviously don't see that big of a deal with it, but there's been a lot of selling and from insiders. So I'm not bringing up old information. This is new. So this came out after hours yesterday. So a couple of Form 4s, one of which was from the good old CEO himself. So right here. So CEO did sell on the 13th Class B shares, which Class B is converted on a 1-to-1 ratio for Class A. So they sold 150,000 shares. And then there was this individual, Dan Lawrence Marcus. I think this is now the second, maybe third time that this individual did sell. So as you can kind of see, sold another 50,000 on the 12th, and then 50,000 on the 13th. And all of this is associated to just straight up selling, not for tax purposes, because you can tell that transaction code S. So again, just to keep that in mind, as of right now, they do have about 283,000 shares. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of all this insider selling, but like I said, institutions seem to not give two craps, so they still see a lot of upside. The analyst that did give a $9.50 price target, they clearly do not give a crap, so maybe I'm just barking up the wrong tree essentially. But no matter what, I think big things could be coming once again, whether you are a fan of the AI play or technicals or essentially squeeze play. Because right now 12.21% of the free float is being shorted. That works out to be 32.51 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost of borrow average is 15.08%. I have actually spoken to Ortex about this glitch right here. So it's kind of, I think it's just a numerical issue. So right now shorts are increasing about 710,000. So you just have to kind of shift this over. So not all that much. So they kind of are running out of steam, if that makes sense. And plus today's Friday, so maybe they're kind of just laying low for that. But options looking very optimistic. So $14 million in calls being purchased versus 3.44 million in puts. Sentiment wise, 46% of all the options being done today are bearish, and of the call options that are being purchased, there's a consensus for it to be above roughly about $9.50 or $10 by the end of next week. So a lot of people are hedging that there's going to be a nice continuation of this momentum. Then looking at puts, you do see more so around sub 750. So risk versus reward is definitely very much in favor of the upside. So I've already brought up this. So these are the transactions on the secondary market. These are the dark pool transactions. On a technical stance, this is one thing that I absolutely love and which I really like SoundHound for. So right now it is up 3.82%. So with that 868, it is trading between this R1 and this R2. So 805 is that very strong support. And despite PPI and also retail sales coming in a little bit worse for wear, which did cause it to go below that 805, it keeps getting dragged back in. So of course, I think with that new analyst rating, that's really helping kind of motivate investors with SoundHound, but $9.54 will be that next strong point to watch for, so the resistance point. And so potentially going into next week, you could see that transition above that into higher highs, and then 10, 11, and maybe even higher from that coming next. On the actual chart, I will just move this so you guys can see. So as of right now, it is higher percentile of the Bollinger Band and above a lot of the key pivotal moving averages. Right now, you do see still a nice bullish deviation on stochastic, and plus it is considered somewhat overbought right now, but like I've said in previous videos, that hasn't really stopped it in the past. So usually momentum plays such as SoundHound, it's kind of, you have to take a lot of this with a grain of salt. It's good to kind of note a lot of the strong support and resistance points, but a lot of these indicators, such as stochastic, do get kind of skewed. So again, you can't really take that fully for face value. Looking on the momentum indicator shows number of retail investors have been getting out, but based on the volume, it does show that a lot of long investors have been getting in from the institutions. And probably that has to do with the analyst rating, like I kind of mentioned. So luckily for SoundHound, I think that rating came at the very perfect time. So who knows? Let me know your thoughts on SoundHound. Do you see upside coming? Do you think that, for instance, around $12 is going to be the next target for next week? And do you think that there is going to be a short squeeze? So what's your thoughts on all of that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing, don't forget to take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for an account with 𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗛, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So make sure you take advantage of this promo. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.